Do you remember, let me pick your brain for a second. Do you remember the first time we met?
When you interviewed me?
Mm-hmm.
When I won, yeah.
Yep. And I probably interviewed you, handful of times after that.
Yeah.
And one thing that I always loved about you is that you would let me ask you anything.
Yeah.
All the tough questions.
Sure.
And you never turned me away. You never, shot me down. That's what I've always loved about you. You're very transparent.
Good.
And that's how we want to keep you. And that's what we're doing here.
Okay.
We're going to talk about things, and you're going to let me ask you
Anything.
questions.
I don't care. Yeah.
And put it out there. This is Sheriff Hobart Lewis. It don't get any more real than that.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a new thing. You were really serious about doing this podcast. Why did you want to do this?
Well, so, obviously you want to get information out. You want to use every platform you have to be able to kind of highlight the agency. I've always prided myself on building a PIO unit that would highlight our people. I mean, obviously we want to get information out when we have missing people, and we want to do those things. But our greatest asset to this community is the men and women who do the work. So I'm hoping, as we experiment and dip our toes into the podcast world, that it turns into a good information sharing. We get so many phone calls, so many emails from people that ask us questions and want to know what's going on.
And it's hard to always
you want to answer them, yeah, but it gets a little bit repetitive. So to get to those folks, and again, you have so many groups, political groups that are so divided and kind of create their own narrative, and I read some of that, and I'm really shocked at the misinformation that gets out. So
this is a way for you to kind of set things straight and just...
Well, yeah, and hear it directly from the horse's mouth. I'm sure there's some other names people could come up with for me, but yeah,
those names.
But to hear it directly from the sheriff that the people elected, and to take the time to do that, and we have, y'all really have created such a great space to share information, get information out to the public, highlight our folks, the videos, everything that goes on social media. I just felt like the one thing that was missing may be a podcast type, scenario where people could listen to it going down the road, or they could listen to it in their office or at home, or whatever the case may be. So just another way of information sharing again, and to hear it directly from me. And everybody, as that filters down, how important it is to hear it from everybody who puts in the work, all 770 employees. I just happen to be the guy speaking on their behalf. So I hope this facilitates that.
To get a lot of information out in just, a 3-minute video.
Sure, yeah.
Like we can show things, but there are things that are still left in the community's mind, questions that we're not able to fill in.
Right, and I think people interpret things different ways when you do a press release on just say an officer-involved shooting. Mm-hmm. And we video that, and we try to get it out as quick as we can, give it to all the media outlets, and post it on our page. And you still see comments or some things on there where people, maybe they didn't watch it all, or maybe they didn't listen to all of it. And you want to get the facts out there. I want people to know the sheriff's office that serves this community, and the relationships we built with the community, and the relationships we built with other agencies, and all the resources we use to fight so hard to keep people safe. And we want to leave a legacy here and make Greenville the safest county in South Carolina, the safest county on the East Coast. But it takes those people that work here to do it. And I hope anybody that listens to one of these understands I'm speaking on their behalf, the people that do the work, but they do such a tremendous job, and we don't recognize them enough. As we, talk about pay today and benefits and some of those things, like, I've heard people talk about putting a value on it. How much is enough? How much are they going to ask for? When's it stop? Do you really want me to tell you what they're worth? Because you can't afford to pay it.
You're right.
So I hope, again, this highlights the hard work y'all do, the deputies on the road do, the investigators do, the community action team does, the homeless unit. We just want to get that out there so people know where their money's going. What resources do we provide?
How many people do we have now?
You got 600 sworn positions. That's 600 deputy sheriffs that can put on a uniform, go out and enforce the law at any given time. Another 170 civilian employees. That also includes like crossing guards and those things. So it's a very large agency to not have, and I don't think a lot of people understand this, although we fight for public safety, we are not in control or over the detention center, which has another 300 or 400 employees.
Right.
So this is a very large sheriff's office to not have the jail to serve the largest populated county in the state.
And let's be honest, we'll cut right to the chase.
Sure.
I can tell you as a deputy myself that the pay here is not why I'm here.
Of course.
We've heard things about, a badge of honor, different things said, and it is an honor. It is an absolute honor to be a deputy sheriff in Greenville County and to work under you and to serve this community. And there's a lot of people here that do this because of what's in our heart, right? And that's great, but it also doesn't pay the bills. Let's be honest. Let's
Correct.
be real here. And when you kind of throw out that number, that $12,000 increase, some of the numbers that you've thrown out, people get a little bit of a sticker shock. But that's what you need to explain, because we're not asking for some ridiculous amount.
We're really not, and I don't mean to cut you short, but so we have done this over and over and over with county council. And I don't think people understand that when they look at the media, who, we get along great with, and I'm not blaming them, but when the media put it out there that the Greenville County Sheriff asked for $12,000 per deputy in raises.
It's a little shocking when you hear it.
Yeah, it's not a raise. It's an adjustment.
Right.
And there's a huge difference. So we saw this coming. I mean, we all the way back to 2020 when we got here, and we start looking and we start going through the budget process. And back then, we were on a 2-year budget cycle. So whatever we got in that budget process, we had to live with for 2 years, whether it's positions, cars. This is back during COVID. We couldn't get radios. We couldn't get cars. We couldn't get computers. Everything was kind of locked down.
And on that budget, just so people know, to kind of explain how you have to break things out. Like right now, whatever you get in the budget, what's that percentage you were telling me? How much
Personnel,
goes towards?
a little over 90% is strictly for personnel, salaries, benefits, things we have to have, workers' comp, liability insurance, Social Security, all those things. So it doesn't leave a lot, really about $6 or $7 million out of the budget to do anything extra, whether it be training classes or to a new target system we desperately need at the training center. That, by the way, was promised to us in 2023 when they cut the budget.
We're still waiting, aren't we?
Millage increase, not another mention of it, right? So there's a lot of things that happen, and they have that, kind of treasure chest maybe a little bit at the county that they can pull some money from. And I don't mean that. I don't mean to say there's $20 million hidden in a desk up there at all, but they can move some money around as we need it. When we wreck a car, we have a collision, the insurance doesn't buy us a new car. We're self-insured. We have to go out, find another car. The county has to purchase that car.
And you'll have people, let me stop you there, Sheriff. You'll have people that, they'll say, well, don't wreck your cars. Or, do you really need this or do you really need that? And that's kind of an easy, kind of an armchair quarterback view.
Sure.
When you don't realize the nuts and bolts that goes into running a sheriff's office.
And I don't take that personal. when I hear those comments or when's enough or what are y'all doing with the money or whatever, listen, everybody has a right to ask those questions. So I don't get defensive, but to look and, break down, just for instance, this is a copy, and not a lot of people see this, but this is our 26-27 budget. And this is what we submit to the county administrator. You mentioned the sticker shock everybody has. God, where'd they come up with $12,000? This is our original request for a 12% pay raise per year.
But why are you asking for that? That's what
we're just trying to get on a level playing field. We're not. I don't need. I'm not asking to be number one, but I want to be in the top four. I'd like to be in the top two.
And when we're talking about those numbers, we're referring specifically to a list of agencies in the state
of pay.
Yeah. And right now we're sitting at
31. At one time, we were in the top 2 or 3 many years ago, and even in 2020. As other municipalities and other agencies, county agencies around us, we're not talking about out west or up north or any of that, just here in the state, their councils have seen this and said, we don't want to lose our people that we've invested in. We're going to have to raise their pay. We didn't do that. We got, a cost of living increase. Every county employee got 3%. We had to fight to get an additional 3%, which is a whole nother story because we asked for 12%. We didn't, everybody says, oh, they got 6%. What are they complaining about? That didn't even move the needle. I mean, I don't mean to be unappreciative, but let's be real. You're talking about $140 for a deputy, and we're losing people who are making $13,000 more dollars at another agency that are making that change, and they're making their house payment. They're paying their child care. The world's changed.
I can
Things
tell
are
you
more
personally, $140, it doesn't, like you said, it doesn't move the needle. Myself, like so many here, have to work secondary employment through the sheriff's office just to be able to pay mortgage, to pay your monthly bills.
I'm glad you brought that up. A county council member actually said in one of the meetings where y'all can work side jobs. Like that was, part of a benefit somehow. And he thought we could drive our cars anywhere we wanted to. Y'all have take-home cars and you can work side jobs. Okay. So you're telling me just because I have the ability to work an extra 4, 6, 8 hours after I get off my 12-hour shift, somehow that's a benefit?
Well, let me put it to you in a personal way here. So we work, our schedule. We may have a day off here or there, and many like myself are working side jobs on those days off. So, and that, again, that is to be able to keep up with your bills, which a lot of people, are barely doing at this point.
Things have changed. Things
what
are more
we are
expensive.
giving up is time at home, time with our family, time with my children. And that's what people
a time of
don't
rest.
think about. Right.
If anybody truly had an idea of what a deputy sheriff here in Greenville, which is really like nowhere else, experienced for 12 hours and then want to be able to go home and spend time with your family and realize the world is an okay place, right, inside your home to kind of decompress, have 2 days off, come back, work another 3 days in a row at 12 hours, dealing with things that you can't unsee.
Or hear or smell.
Sure. Who wants to do that 5 or 6 or 7 straight days?
Right.
Because you're trying to pay for child care, because you're trying to pay, maybe, unfortunately, we got 770 people. We have a lot of sickness here where the other spouse may not be able to work or, whatever.
Yep.
To pay for those things, to save for your children's college, to save for their first car, to save for your own retirement, something separate outside of everybody thinks we have this great retirement system in South Carolina. If it's so damn good, come to work here and work 25 years and you get on it. Like, if
Right.
it's that great,
Yeah.
by all means, we got openings. We'll take
And
it.
that changes. It was less than that. Now it's 25. It could go up.
It's up to 28,
Right.
25 for when I started, but now a new deputy has to work 28 years. Same goes for teachers. You know, they're under really the same system in a separate pot. But, I mean, who wants to work 7 straight days just to make ends meet when you're not getting ahead? So,
And even taking that from a deputy's perspective, let's put it back with the community. So we have the largest county in the state. We have over 500,000 people, and it's growing. Those numbers they're not going to stop.
Right.
People are coming in every day. So you think about over 500,000 people, and we have 600 and something sworn deputies. We cannot afford as a county to lose deputies.
not at all.
We are already behind as far as having enough manpower to be able to cover, adequately. We do our best, but let's be honest.
Even if we were full, we have 600 positions. Even if we were full and all 600 positions were filled and those deputies were working the road, obviously we are still behind on the service we provide and response times because this community has grown. I got an email from a guy that said, hey, your budget has increased by 30% in the past 4 years. Well, let's talk about that. Let's break that down. It didn't increase because of pay. It increased because of positions, because we have 2 new towers at County Square, 13 positions we had to fill that were added because instead of having 3 deputies at the old County Square, now you got 13 more on top of it. 12, maybe 15 at the new family court. They added judges. They renovated the building. They moved in. They're hearing more cases. It's 3 levels that deputies have to patrol over there. All kind of different issues. That costs money. That's not a request we made. We didn't say we want a new family court and please give us 12 more positions to secure it.
We had to accommodate it.
We had to accommodate it. The law says, South Carolina state law, that we will provide protection and security for the courthouses. That's part of being at the sheriff's office.
People probably forget too. When you think deputies, you think the ones you see on the road in their cars, patrolling, answering calls, answering 911 calls. But like you said, we've got courthouse, we've got various locations all over the county where deputies have to work. So that's part of your manpower right there.
We have 5 different locations that we house people in. I think the public would probably be amazed by that. They think we're all in here and all the offices and all those things. You can't even get all our cars in the parking lot here. We're not asking for a new facility. I'm just asking you to pay the people who do the work and be reasonable. We should not be 31st in the state. No. And by the way, that 31st, that study we did, that doesn't even include state agencies that pay more than we do. SLED, the Highway Patrol, Department of Natural Resources, Probation and Parole, Bureau of Protective Services, all those people, $9,000, $10,000 more. We didn't even put them in the list. They don't really answer calls the same way we do. So we just moved them off to the side. If you put them in it, that would probably put us in the lower 40s across the state. So
we just keep going down further and further.
Yeah.
So tell me, when we talk about deputies leaving, for better pay, not getting the increase that we so desperately are seeking, let's talk about what happens when we don't get that. What do we lose? What could we possibly lose that the community may not think about?
Well, I think, and it would be naive of me to think the community or council people understand the inner workings of the sheriff's office. That's why we're doing this. I want the community to watch this and understand after different episodes what exactly the Greenville County Sheriff's Office does. But when you invest training, and we do it as good as anybody, time and money and resources into training a Greenville County Sheriff's Deputy, a Greenville County investigator, a homicide investigator, our community patrol folks, our SROs, the money we spend during the summer, active shooter training for those folks and getting them certified and qualified, to lose them to another agency. I mean, it's a blow, it's a kick in the teeth because of pay, not any other reasons. We turned in at the last committee of the whole meeting, we turned in an envelope full of evaluations of people who left here. We do what's called an exit interview, and it's got some questions on there about why you're leaving. You can be anonymous. You don't have to put your name on it. 95% of them were because they were offered more money somewhere else.
And you can't blame somebody for that.
The world's changed. Things are more expensive. Culture only goes so far.
Right.
I hear that too. Well, people will stay if they're loyal to you, and things are good for them, and you're doing what you can. Yeah, I get all that. That's why we still have 570 people out of those 600 that still work here. It's a constant battle. And when you have somebody that's been here 2 or 3 or 5 years and can go to work somewhere and have such a significant increase, how can you blame them?
How do you compete with that when you can't offer them?
You got nothing to offer. Yeah, you got nothing. Well, okay. The only difference, I can tell you can drive a black and silver car instead of a white car.
Right. Or
whatever. I mean, that's all. That's the only offering we have for those type people that we find are leaving. Retirements are only getting, really more and more. We're getting to a point where our folks here at the Sheriff's Office are tenured people, are senior people who have 25 years, 28 years, who have not retired, are recognizing that they're leaving money on the table every month they continue to work here. What are we going to do? You got 10 or 12 people now that are up and available to retire. All that experience, all the knowledge, all those things are going to be gone. And they have to now separate for 1 year before they can even return back to law enforcement and draw their retirement and a salary somewhere in law enforcement. Now, we're working on getting that changed and certainly hope to make some headway in January, but we finding that people who do that are not coming back after a year.
Well,
this is a hard job. Well, and you find a job somewhere else and you work somewhere else for a year and you realize, hey, I get to go home every day at 5 o'clock. I'm not on call anymore. I'm not working side jobs. I want to stay home with my family. Mm-hmm. I want to go fishing on Saturday. I want to be able to adjust my schedule, whatever, whether they're working at Ace Hardware or maybe a private security company, whatever the case may be, their schedules are better. They're not coming back because they're having to stay gone for that 1 year, which is a whole nother issue. Who do you replace them with? The pool of great people we replace them with today have not been here 5 or 7 years. They've not built relationships. So when they're looking to come to work here, and you come to work here making $52,000 a year, or you can apply with this agency making $62,000, where are you going?
Right.
You're not coming over here just so you can work for the county. You're going where the money's at.
When we talk about pay, that's something we could talk for days and days
absolutely.
about. There's not enough.
Not enough hours in the day.
Tape in the camera, right?
That's right.
And that's something that you'll go into further in more, episodes of your podcast here. You're going to have different guests on. You're going to talk about all different topics.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited to see what you come to the table with.
Yeah.
I think the community will like to hear straight from,
as
you said, the horse's mouth. I didn't say it. You said
right.
that.
That's
not calling
right.
my boss a horse
that's okay.
by any means. But it's going to be exciting to see what we can learn from you as deputies, as the community. We look forward to seeing what you'll have coming up. Be excited to hear it.
Again, I think to hopefully highlight the agency and the folks who do the work, who are out there sacrificing every day, if we can shed some light on that to the public and talk about some cases or, we may discuss a cold case.
That'll be good.
We've been very successful in solving 14 of those in 5 years, and they've done a great job. So information sharing, highlighting our folks is what we look forward to.
And you are also putting it out to the community. If you have questions that they want you to discuss, you have set up a special email for that. That is sheriffhobart@gmail.com.
Absolutely. If you email us a question or a topic you want us to cover, this is what this is for. We would love public input. We want this to be informative for the public. This is for you. So we welcome that.
Now, you're going to get a lot of interesting
That's all right.
emails.
Bring it on. Hey, listen.
We may have a whole episode just on the entertaining emails that you get to that address.
We'll highlight that too.
But so going forward, we're going to have this on, of course, our Greenville County Sheriff's Office Facebook page.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be on our county YouTube page for those that aren't on Facebook. Anybody that listens to podcasts, you can listen to this from whatever platform you use for that. And you'll be, like we mentioned, you'll have more content and more guest visitors. I mean, this is something that I think will be really good. And I know I'm excited to hear from you, and I know you're excited to get out there. And
I am. We've been looking forward to this, and we've kind of experimented with doing it, and my ideas were not so great, but the experts, you guys, and public information have put this together, and I'm really excited now, and I look forward to it. I wouldn't be possible again without y'all. So thank y'all for putting in so much hard work and having to rearrange the office to make this happen.
Thank you for letting us do it, sir.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we'll see you on the next episode.
Sounds good.
Roll Call.
Roll Call with the sheriff.